welcome back to MD Model Works in association with MkXIV. Another review time. It came along thick and fast this week. This time it's the brand new Airfix 148 Supermarine Spitfire FR Mark 14. Your kit number is A05135. This is now in stock at Hannants. Picked mine up today out of the box, so one of the lucky ones to get one first. I know as a lot of people have somehow got review kits on YouTube very quickly. I'm not sure how that's happening, but hey ho, that doesn't happen with other kits or just Airfix. So anyway, right, so the Mark 14. Right, the venerable Spitfire we obviously know as the Mark 1, 2, so on and so on and so on, up to the Mark 9, which is probably the most well-known version, and the last version of the Merlin, with the Merlin engine, sorry. And this is obviously the first version, or one of the first versions, with the Griffin. The reason this engine, or this version, was brought out, it was to compete with the Focke-Wulf 190 and later 109s. Now, this Spitfire was 80 miles an hour faster than the original. It also helped after D-Day with defending the United Kingdom against V2s. Sorry, V1s. Nothing can stop a V2. Well, at the time anyway. It was basically designed to shoot it down. Hence the clip wings and whatever for extra speed. It was a lot longer. It had a different nose configuration because of the Griffin, and also a completely different tail section and the clip wings. Dual intakes, fantastic. She's a beautiful looking creature, or aircraft, whatever you want to call it. I call her a lady, you call her what you like. But anyway, it's fantastic aircraft as it is. I call it a bubble top, as a lot of people call them. I've built a bubble top somewhere, which is up there at the moment on the shelf. A bit of dust, needs dusting, but hey ho, this will be built as well, and very soon I hope. There'll be a quick build in between the F-16 and the Liberator. So this is your box artwork as usual, looking quite good, and actually he's putting down an 190 down in flames, which it's the first time I've seen it like that for a long while. There you go. Looks like we've got two different versions, one in all metal, and obviously this is the photo reconnaissance as well. Although it's not a PR, it's an FR, a fighter reconnaissance. There you go. So you got your two versions. One's a metal based, and one's your camo, which is a standard ocean grey over darker green. Right, so the box itself. Now, although the box is open, I've only opened it just to get through to for the tags. Nothing much on the box apart from the usual thing. It's telling you what's in the box. So we've got the FR, which has been flown by Squadron Leader James Bernard, Prendergast, number 414 Squadron, Royal Canadian Air Force, B156, Lüneburg, Germany, May-June 1945. Or the metal version, which is number 11 AC Squadron, Royal Air Force, 2nd Tactical Air Force, RAF Buckerberg, Germany, 1950-51. So this is a later version, the all metal one. I do like the fact it's got Lazy Lady though. I think that's a lovely version. Right, sorry about the glare off the lights. Right, straight in. Now, when I got the kit today, I asked the ladies and gentlemen at Hannants just to put me a set of seat belts in the box. So we've got a set of HGW late Spitfires seat belts. These are absolutely gorgeous things to do, although they can be very not monotonous, tricky, let's say that. Brilliant things though, make the kit. Anyway, into the box itself, we have the usual thing with Airfix, one large bag, an instruction manual, so on, and the decals. First things first, we will go to put that to one side. We'll keep our decals safe for a moment and look into our instruction manual. A4. I wish they wouldn't. Would that fit in there? No. I'd rather one fold in the middle than three folds, but hey, what do I know? I'm just a model builder. There we go. Right. So usual thing. Hornby Hobbies. Looking at everything on it. Just have a quick look. I have an Italian centre. That's quite cool. Right. So it's telling you on here bubble canopy, as well as the E-wing, which is a clip wing. And a climb rate of 5,000 feet per minute. Fantastic for shooting down doodlebugs. Great stuff. Right, so turn it over. More assembly instructions. Study the drawing practice. Yeah, we've done all that before. So, firstly up, we have looks like how can I put it? A box canopy. So you make everything into a box, and it slides inside the fuselage. The best way, in my opinion. And looking at this, we start off with the the port fuselage side and the starboard. So putting on the throttles, the brakes, the trim tabs, all going together. Seat going in. Slight bit of padding on the back. It's calling for 33 on the back. I'm not 100% sure of that. Check your references. Airfix's colours. Colour references and callouts are not always perfect, so check your references. And going through, so we've got the bulkhead behind the seat, then we've got our framework, the beautiful framework which we all seen when they're building Spitfires at West Bromwich. You can see all this stuff about. Drill out all your holes if you're going to have the first one actually shown. You only see the first one, so drill out your holes. It's worth the 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes to take just to do that. The seat joining onto the frame with the armour guard at the rear, the armour piece. Rudder pedals going in and sitting on your yoke, your joystick, whatever you want to call it, control stick going in. Decals for the instrument panel. Fine in this scale, you're not going to see too much, although this is a bubble one, so you could see a bit if you're not going to put a guy in there, which I won't because of the belts. You're not actually going to see much, but you might be able to see that. I'll have to have a look when I build it and decide and see whether it's worth painting or just go with the basic decal system. I'll have a look at the decals in a moment and see what they're like. Okay, so that goes into the front of the sidewalls. Going on, sidewalls coming together and forming a cylindrical shape. And when we then slide in another part and another part behind that, sorry, your seat section going in, then another rib section going through, and of course your rear bulkhead to blanket off. You've got your camera being put together and sliding straight on to the rear bulkhead, so your camera is actually on the sitting there on the control system. Picture of Tim. You got Tim's face on there this time. That's the guy who designed the Typhoon, if I remember correctly, after going down to Hornby. Looks a spitting image of him anyway. Right, it's asking you to cut parts off if you're going to have the cabin, the hood closed. Leave it if it's left open. Depends. Just check what you're doing all the time. It's also asking you can cut the side door off, so it's not. Until I look at this, I haven't looked at this kit at all, so I don't know what this is on. But it's looking to me like you have to cut your own door section out. And it's asking to cut off part of the tail as well. Okay. Well, that's if you're doing the B model for the tail, but we'll have to see. Anyway, so you're building up the wheel wells. The top of the hood is going on with the sight on. all going down with the fuselage together. Obviously the fuselage joins together. Your wheel wells are going in both sides. Don't forget to make sure you drill your holes for your vents and your radiators and oil coolers. We've got a nice wing spar going across, absolutely fine. That'll hold that nice and rigid and give something. So you bring in the one single piece under wing up into the fuselage first, and then your top parts coming down. It's telling you to cut off for A and B for your clip wing. It's not a problem, although it doesn't show anywhere where. I presume there's some bits to go on the end at some point. Anyway, they come together. Then it's asking you for your front of your tails to go on. Sorry, just looking at that, it looks a bit odd. Oh, I see what they've done. Okay, right. So your front's going on 90 degrees, not a problem. Looks like they've borrowed the idea from Eddard. Did a bit like that, but that was in two sections when they built their 148 bubble top. That was done like that so that the aileron can move, elevator can move, sorry. And the tail going on, unmovable, but you can obviously position that how you wish. You've got your ailerons going on, your oil cooler, your air coolers, radiators going in and on, all looking duty. You've got two bits of glaze on either side across your cameras, not a problem, they can go straight on, then masked up. Your cannons going on. You got your forward facing gun camera going in as well. Right, your wheels up or down, your decision. Very basic. If you put them down, two pieces to them, bang, straight down. If you want the undercarriage down, which we all do, let's put it that way. It's very rare we see these in the form. Oh, also the cover of the rear wheel. So your undercarriage is there. There's three parts to it. So you've got your oleo compressor, your door, and the main undercarriage leg. That all goes in and slides in at an angle and twist by the looks of it, and you click it in. Nice touch if it is like that. So that's that done both sides. Your wheels are two part, fantastic, my favourite way of doing it, simply because it's easy to spray. I like to spray everything I can if possible. All your bits and bobs, your pitot tubes, excuse me, the other bits and pieces going on, restraining hooks, rear undercarriage, looking good, the doors. Very basic, I would imagine, until I look at it. Exhaust tubes, exhaust stacks rather, drill them out, make them look 100% better, or if you really want to, aftermarket, get some resin ones already made for that situation. Setting up, making the very famous 5-blade prop. This is what obviously helped this move along 80 miles an hour quicker, along with that big engine. Okay, different parts going on, a sight going in, your glazing going on, just showing you bits and bobs with the door open or closed, got the crowbar, obviously that wasn't there at that time. And then that's it, we come on to our two main types of decal and what we're going to do. Right, so we've got our camouflage version, which I'm hopefully going to speak to Sean Middleton at Top Notch tonight for a chat, and we'll probably order a set of his beautifully done die cut masks for this baby. So we'll do that. We'll probably do that one. So we're just usual thing, as I said, silver, dark grey and ocean grey, medium sea grey, the usual thing on a Spitfire, even in the late war Spitfire. And then we come to the other version, which is the all metal one, which looks good. I don't know, we'll have to see. We'll see what the plastic's like to decide on what the metal's going to be like. Right, so the usual, as I said, version of the instruction manuals from Airfix. Let's bring you in a little bit. Right. Oh, by the way, I did have a look at Hannon's brand new Tornado Special Edition decals today in 1/72, and they are the bomb. If you've got a GR4 out there and you're waiting for the decal, just give it a little longer. The decals will be up, ready and out very soon. They are amazing, and the back looks incredible, by the way. Anyway, back to this. Right, looking at this, usual thing. Obviously Airfix's decals have got a lot better just lately. These look thin, there's very little, in fact there's next to no carrier film, which is fantastic. The only carrier film I can see is on the number 14 squadron, and that part where it gives you the number for the kit and what it is, which I always put on my light because I cheat. That's the only place I can actually see carrier film. So be very careful. They are very good, but they're going to be flimsy. The decals for the dashboard or the instrument panel are very basic, but there you go. They do the job. They are lovely. I do like Lazy Lady decal. That looks lovely. I'll put that. That's basically made my mind up. And put them to one side. And we'll, as you can see, the bag is still heat sealed, never been opened. So take the top off. Put the things to one side. We'll start off with our wings or underwings. Right, let's bring you in to there. Now looking at this, the level of detail on this is getting very close to Edwards. It's very close. The riveting looks good. The panel lines look good. They're not that big and gougy, which was my main moan about the B1B the other day. They look really good, and they're very easy to replace if you do have to file anything out, which I shouldn't think you will. But no, they look really nice. The plastic, if you're going to do a metal finish, you might want to give that a really good polish up. It's close. It's not the usual plastic that I would expect from Airfix. It's not rough. It's not got that rough texture to it. Looks very good. Right, the undercarriage doors, very basic, do the job. The usual patterns on. So we got two. Obviously we could do a different mark of this because we have two tails. But there you go. Right, nice spinner. No rub on there. The oil cooler looking good. Now the inside, I don't know how well this camera's going to pick this up. Let me just, so that actually shows the internal of that. Now that, for an Airfix model, I know it's 2018, 2019, whatever it is, that is quite impressive, to be truthful, for the level of detail there. I'll just knock the servo off because we don't need that one. That looks incredible. There's no ejection pin marks in the way, so we're all good to go. We've got our undercarriage legs, which look quite flimsy actually, to be honest with you. But again, I'm not going to complain because this is looking so far like a really nice piece of kit. So I'll just put that straight back in the bag. The rest I won't, but that one I will. Right, then we have the top of our wings. Again, very nicely detailed. Riveting looking good. We could do with a bit more riveting on there. I mean, someone with a little bit of skill could rivet them. I've got a riveting tool somewhere, I don't know where it is at the minute, I'll show you. Just a little Tamiya riveting tool, does the job perfectly. Bit of dyno tape along there and run your riveter along, perfect, not an issue. So basic detail on the inner wheel wells, not an issue, looking great. No sprue rub, again, I'm very pleased about that, so looking good. You got your little figure. Now this is quite a detailed little figure actually. The face is a lot better, posable. I quite like that. That's quite nice. Let me bring you in a little bit more. Okay, so you got your wheels, three different types of wheels or treads on the tyres. Very, very nicely done. No flash whatsoever I've seen so far. There is a door separate there, so obviously you cut one out and that's to spare. You got your stacks, they're not drilled and you will need to file each end of them because they have a seam mark on them. But file, mark, drill. Your control stick looking good as usual. Your seat there ready to be built up. Standard thing, usual thing with Airfix. But now this plastic, I know there's a lot of stuff on this one little tiny sprue. And this frame, they call it a frame, but it's a sprue for me. It's surprisingly tough. If I was to do that with the old type of Airfix, it would nearly double in half. That is tough. I like that idea, and I'm very impressed with that little guy. Anybody who's got this kit, if this is one of the new little guys, perhaps it's time to start thinking about putting them in the kits. That's looking really nice. Okay, right. The last big sprue. We'll take you out a little bit more. And we've got our fuselage. So we've got our fuselage on here. Again, fuselage looking terrific. Raised and recessed lines. You've got a line which we cut easily off, ready for if you want to do the second version. Our prop, beautifully done, no flash. The covers for the exhaust stacks on the Griffin, nice raised rivet and detail on top there. These will, like I said, drill them out. Takes you 2 seconds on those ones just to drill them out. Makes a lot of difference. Your nose section here, again, very, very nicely done with your filler. Fuselages are very nice. You've got your instrument panel, which is raised detail, and there is marks in there, so that's going to be painted. We won't use the decal. Your radiator covers, very nicely done. Watch it, we have got an injection pin mark. They ain't gonna let that sit very well, so make sure you file those down just here on those two sides. That's all, and that is probably the only thing I could be critical of. A little bit of detail on the inside of the fuselage just there, nothing major but absolutely fine. Great. Okay, right, one more little bag for our, so we've got 2 canopies in here, which is nice. 2 canopies but only one front. They are basically the same. I don't know, I would imagine they don't. Oh, there's the ends for the clip wings, superbly done. Your fronts, let's have a do the wobble test. Excuse my head, in case you see it. Passes the wobble test. They're nice and thin, beautifully clear, no rubbing on them. Brilliant. Airfix, you got it sussed nearly, I think. They were very tightly packed in that bag, which probably helped. Okay. Right, so let's have a look here. Quickly, in conclusion, I would say probably the best Spitfire that I've seen from Airfix. I am a Mark 9 lover, I must admit. Mark 14, not so sure about, never built it. unless that's the Edard one that I built a couple of years ago. But starting to like the look of it, looking forward to build it. I think the cost was, or the normal cost is £22. I've already seen it cheaper online. I believe Sean at Top Notch is doing it for 24 quid, including the mask. So I think he's got a very limited supply, so give him a shout quick if you want one. But apart from that, Airfix, you come up with a good one again. Now all we want is that nice Hellcat to come through, which is due the 21st of June, so we'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll get this up. Thanks again. Bye bye for now.